Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Lenguaplex Multilingual Podcast. I'm Jonathan, and in today's episode, we are going to talk about the history, traditions, and everything that makes Easter one of the most celebrated holidays around the globe. From its origins as a religious observance to the sweet sugar-coated traditions we know today. We'll cover it all. So whether you are here for the history lesson, the fun facts, or the Easter egg hunting tips, I've got something for everyone. Let's hop right into it. The origins of Easter. Alright, let's get started with the most important question. Where did Easter come from? It's a holiday that's been around for centuries, but it's evolved a lot over time. At its core, Easter is a Christian holiday that celebrates the resurrection of Jesus Christ, which, according to the Bible, happened 3 days after his crucifixion. The story is told in the New Testament and is considered the cornerstone of Christian faith. For Christians, Easter symbolizes rebirth, hope, and renewal. Pretty deep, right? But Easter wasn't always called Easter. The name Easter comes from the Old English word Istra, which is actually believed to be named after a pagan goddess of spring and fertility. Some scholars suggest that Easter was originally a celebration of the spring equinox, a time of renewal and growth, before it became intertwined with Christianity. Now, Easter is celebrated on a Sunday, but here's where it gets a little tricky. The date changes every year because Easter is celebrated on the first Sunday after the first full moon following the spring equinox. So it's always between March the 22nd and April the 25th. Did you get it? It's a moving target. The egg and the bunny. Alright, moving on to something a little sweeter. Easter eggs and the Easter bunny. If you've ever wondered how eggs and bunnies became such big symbols on this holiday, you're not alone. Let's crack this open. The egg has long been a symbol of fertility, rebirth, and new life, long before it became associated with Easter. In fact, in many cultures around the world, eggs were considered a symbol of the universe's beginning. So it was only natural that they'd come to represent new life in the context of Easter. But where did the whole Easter egg thing come from? Well, during medieval times, Christians weren't allowed to eat eggs during Lent, which is the 40-day period of fasting leading up to Easter. So any eggs laid during this time would be saved, decorated, and then eaten to celebrate the end of the fast. And over the years, decorating eggs became a tradition, with each country putting its own spin on it. In some places, people dye eggs bright red to represent the blood of Christ, while others paint eggs in intricate designs to symbolize the beauty of life itself. And of course, we can't forget the Easter bunny. This fluffy creature has its roots in ancient pagan traditions, where hares and rabbits were symbols of fertility, partly because of their rapid reproduction. The modern-day Easter bunny, as we know it, was popularized in Germany in the 1700s. According to folklore, the Easter bunny would lay colorful eggs for children to find. And German immigrants brought this tradition to America, where it quickly became one of the most beloved parts of Easter. I mean, who doesn't love the idea of a cute little bunny hiding eggs filled with candy, right? Fun Easter facts. Okay, let's switch gears and talk about some fun Easter facts, because who doesn't love a good fact, right? Did you know that the largest Easter egg ever made weighed over 8,000 pounds? It was created in Italy in 2011, and it was over 34 feet tall. That's one heck of an egg to crack open. In the US, over 90 million chocolate bunnies are sold every Easter. That's enough chocolate to fill the ears of every bunny on the planet. The tradition of the Easter egg roll at the White House has been around since 1878 and is still a fun event for kids today. The race involves rolling eggs down the White House lawn. No spoons required. Oh, and speaking of eggs, the average person will eat over 16 billion jelly beans during Easter. That's a lot of sugar. Personal reflections and closing thoughts. Now, before I wrap up, I want to take a moment to reflect on something that I think makes Easter so special. It's not just the eggs, the bunnies, or the chocolate. It's the sense of renewal and togetherness that this holiday brings. Whether you're attending a church service, sharing a meal with your family, or simply enjoying the outdoors as the season changes. Easter reminds us that there is always hope, there is always a chance for new beginnings, and there is always room for a little joy. So, whether you celebrate Easter religiously, culturally, or just for the fun of it, I hope you take a moment to enjoy the simple pleasures of the season. Find some eggs to hide, maybe take a stroll under the spring sunshine, or, indulge in that chocolate bunny you've been eyeing all week. That's it for today's episode of Lenguaplex. I hope you learned something new and maybe found some inspiration to start your own Eastern traditions or dive a little deeper into the ones you already love. Remember to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And share this podcast with your friends, especially if they love Easter as much as we do. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time. Happy Easter!